Hey, what's going on, baby? That's SEO0320 representing JVS. So I'm back again for another review. This is my second in this hat trick that I'm going to be performing tonight. It's going to be 3 intricate different reviews. 2 of these films I've already seen like weeks past, but one of them I saw tonight, which was the Mission Impossible Fallout, which I already can tell you I gave you a 10 out of 10. But if you want to know more details about it, definitely go and check the link at the end of this video and you'll know more about it. But the next one I'm going to be talking about is Equalizer 2. Robert McCall is back. Denzel Washington is back. Denzel Washington, first off, never makes sequels ever. Like, ever. Like, you've never seen a Training Day 2. You've never seen a John Q 2. You've never seen an Out of Time 2. You've never seen, I don't even know what to actually go. But he's never made a sequel. This is his very first sequel. And I gotta say, from an action intensity perspective, he's refined his character, Robert McCall, because now it's not just like, okay, you're a person that did a lot of bad and just like, okay, by chance you're gonna go and do something right. Now he's taken upon himself to evolve himself as a character, putting himself in harm's way again, but for the betterment of the people. Like, this is a character-based thing, and I think that Denzel Washington does a really good job in this. I think that the action moments in this one, when they're going, he nails it. And that's one of the things about a well-crafted actor. A well-crafted actor can make you truly believe that they are more than capable of doing all these different things. There's this one scene in the car where Denzel Washington is kind of a Lyft driver in this one. I think he's a Lyft or Uber driver. And like, there's somebody in the car with him that's trying to cause him harm. And like, the way that he acts that scene and the way that they choreograph the fight, I was like, the choreography in this is on key, yes, but he sells these action scenes. Matter of fact, I feel like ever since the Book of Eli, man, like he has learned how to perfect his telegraph movements. What I mean by that, like, I mean, he's always been like impeccable with his timing, his charisma, and like, he can fill up a room, you know, with his presence, absolutely. But when it comes to believability with the action moments and the fight scenes, he's got it, man. Like, he is a vet. And it's funny because in that scene, like, I was like, I don't know where this is really gonna go. And I think that's one of the things, that there are dangerous moments that you don't know where it's gonna go, but at the same time, he has this demeanor about him, like, I got this, you know, kind of thing. There's a big fight scene towards the 3rd act, and some of the things that they think up as far as the choreographing and the actual prop and design for it, I thought was really well done. There's one where there's like a hurricane involved. It was really interesting and really intricately done. There's one scene in the very first act where he was fighting some younger people, and like, I legit was in the theater cheering. Everybody else around me was doing the same exact thing. So now in this one, you got newcomers in Pedro Pascal, the Viper himself. I don't want to say what his role is, but he's very close to Robert in a lot of different ways, as well as his friend is back, Susan Plummer, played by Melissa Leo, and she actually gets a lot more to do in this one, like from an action standpoint and from an acting standpoint. Like, you can tell there's a really good chemistry between her and Denzel Washington, and it's really all done through Susan and Robert's relationship, and I thought they did a really good job with that. Bill Pullman is back again as Susan's husband. They don't really do too much with Bill in this one, but I will say what they do with is Ashton Saunders. Ashton Saunders, if you have not seen Moonlight, he is an amazing part of that film in a lot of different ways. Like, if his acting wasn't on key, it wouldn't have worked the way it should have. And in Moonlight, he just nails it, you know what I'm saying? And in this one, he's a totally different character, and I think that he does a really good job for what source materials they actually do give him. Some stuff, it comes off as a little, how do I put it, stereotypical in a way. Like, there's one scene where, you know, he's kind of put in a situation where he might have to do drugs, or he might have to go and sell this, or do a part of this gang affiliation, instead of just, you know, like the normal teen, you know, African-American male could be, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think that it worked for the scene because it allowed Denzel Washington to have this moment that involves a gun that I thought was well acted, and Denzel really committed to it, as well as Ashton really left himself in a vulnerable state enough for it to really flow really well. It just kind of, I don't know if it comes off as a little too much or over the top, but I appreciated it. I thought it was, for a movie like this, it's really unexpected and it comes out of nowhere, and I think it adds to the value of Ashton's character, Miles, I think his name's Miles, and Robert's character. I think that was something that was needed, because there's something that happens later on in the third act with Miles that if they hadn't had that moment, it wouldn't have meant as much, you know what I'm trying to say. So Pedro Pascal again is another big part and factor of it. Him and Denzel Washington have a couple different moments. That there's this one scene in this house with them, and you can tell they have history, and it's really rich and fresh, and like that scene kind of lit up the room as well. But again, I think that the difference is with this one, like the action was there, choreographing was there, it was a decent sequel, and I think it's very serviceable in the sense of the caliber of what Denzel is more than capable of. The difference is, I think that the first one might have been a little bit better. There's certain things I liked about the second one more. I did appreciate certain moments in the middle and in the second act. What's the same thing? Second act and the third act. But all in all, I think that as a film, the first one flowed a lot more naturally. Whereas kind of like this one felt like it was kind of held back with certain things. But that's not to say that the violence and the gore was there. This is definitely a violent film. Like there's some scenes that like I was like, oh my gosh, Denzel, really? And he's also put in some compromising situations. Like it's not always just going his way. So which I appreciated that, because you know he kind of comes at like, oh well, there's nothing that can really touch him. Then you know it gets to be really stale. One of the things about this one that Robert really deals with is the anniversary of him and his wife, and his anniversary. And I thought that really resonated with me, because I allowed him to be vulnerable even in certain things that happen with people that are closest to him, in addition to the things with his mom, with his wife. So but yeah, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it 7.5, 8 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. I need to let my wife see it if she hadn't seen it yet. But hopefully y'all enjoy this review. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Have a blessed night, guys. Peace.